Good evening. Welcome. Jim was on the stream in June and said that he thought one of the top two exchanges would go broke at some point. All right, yeah, Jim's ready. So let me give him a call here. I gotta pause the music. Hello, Jim. Are you there? Or maybe introduce yourself for those that don't know you, so I can get your levels right.
Yeah, right. Hi, I'm Jim.
There you go. So let me pose the first question to you, Jim, and kind of see where you sit on this. One strand of argument that I've seen made quite strongly this week is we are at the point of maximum fear.
I kind of think maximum fear is a meme, really. You know, the phrase that was coined sort of during a piss easy bull market.
This is the worst that I've seen sentiment in 5 years. I kind of understand the max fear argument here, and I would say that the environment supports certainly the most negativity I've seen around crypto in some time.
Yeah, and for me, it's the public scale of it now. You know, we've gone through this phase of sort of the mass adoption period to where we're under such a magnifying glass that it just seems worse than anything I've ever experienced in crypto. I don't know why you'd even want any association with crypto. The news, there's going to be a lot of news on it next week. It's a huge story. Huge. For me, crypto is the most undesirable investment there is right now in this moment. Even though what I've just said, like, my longer term mindset is thinking about where do I want to position and buy, but the fact is we just broke down from a 5-month balance, so the likelihood is we're going to get several weeks of down from this. It's, you know, this is the instigation into a new trending move, in my opinion. And the last time we broke such a balance, you know, we went down 45%. So
What do you think about if we just kind of give like a broader market look?
yeah, so I've had my eye on the ES start of November. I was like 38.30 is probably going to cap price, which it did, but then we blitzed through it on the 3-letter things. I said if we broke that level, then I was targeting like 4K basically for up to like 4100, I guess. One thing I'm looking to see next week is if we go back to a sort of a regime in Bitcoin where there's low participation, and those sort of and algos go back to following ES. Because if that's the case and ES keeps going up, then I'll probably, you know, think about taking a Bitcoin long. Oh my goodness.
Well, what's wrong with this?
What is CBX, just out of interest?
The future of finance? What's your takeaway and advice for passing on to people who are trying to operate in this environment from a lower time frame perspective?
Don't trade altcoins.
Sure. I think that's sensible advice, given what we've seen.
Keeping a really tight validation, because like you can be caught offside very quickly with one tweet from DB or something.
Oh yeah.
You know, you could be looking at the chart, it suddenly rips through your entry and you're like, what's happened? And you go check Twitter and yeah. Me personally, when it's low time frame downtrend, I just keep moving my validation to each high above it.
Sure.
Keep it very, you know, strict. Trust market structure. You know, people are always waiting for the squeeze to get in, but when it's a strong trending market, you got to be a bit more ballsy, really. I'll give you some trending scalping edge, actually, if you want.
Well,
it's a candlestick pattern.
All right. I know that chat will be lapping this up, so like everybody now, this is your opportunity to get something to write with, to make a note somewhere as Jim spills out.
So you're on the 5-minute chart, right?
I am indeed.
Just zoom in to the low. Perfect. So in a low time frame downtrend, when a market reverses where it's a wick followed by a flat bottom candle, it's an insane high probability that we trade back below that 5 minute candle. Like for a proper reversal, you want to see the candle engulf in one go as opposed to two separate candles. So when you're in an established low time frame downtrend, you can, say with quite high conviction that it's going to trade back down there, because it's basically, it bounces and then shorts cover and it rips and then it fills back in the inefficiency.
Yeah, Jim is SPF. Jim will be in prison before Sam. I mean, that much is probably true anyway. I mean, listen, I place a lot of conviction in that thought. So market structure, for anybody kind of looking for an avenue to explore, is so important, both lower time frame and higher time frame, for how we're going to be trading over whatever period of time.
The way I think about it is, I see people looking at this chart and they're like, if we squeeze back up into like 18.5, 19k, I'm gonna take a short. And my mentality is like, I don't want to see price up there ever again if I'm short biased. Price has no right to be up there if it's in a downtrend. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm shorting much lower than that, because if it gets back up there, then I kind of have to reevaluate my whole thesis, because if we've just broken from balance, price should not revisit that level for me to short.
BTC is one of those candles that does not look like it's in a very good position at all in terms of saving itself, breaking clear firmly of the lows that we've had, even retesting up into this region on the lower time frames and rejecting. So the 1200 level for me is still really important, because I think that based on the daily, I think this is a really solid level. If we're losing this now here after this bounce, then once again we're in this is the squeeze, this is the continuation territory. Right now, if I was looking at this from a more simplistic basis in the macro downtrend that we're in, I think that ETH just makes a better shorting opportunity through this region potentially. I think that's probably the way that I would phrase it as of right now.
Do you want to know what I think?
No.
I think, based on that RSI, ETH's got a 50% drop in it. I think ETH gets defended above 1k because of the implications of it losing that level and what it can do to DeFi, etc. Like the pool, I don't know what I'm talking about, to be honest, but
just it doesn't matter. Just say some terms. That's fine.
I was going to say some.
You were going to say contagion.
Some sort of pool stability to try and sound smart,
good.
but I don't even know what it means.
You asked what CVX was before. No one's going to believe you anyway when you talk about DeFi. So
yeah, but nah, ETH's fucked. Like if you buy an ETH at 4 digits, then I don't know what to tell you, to be honest. I think you're mental. Yeah, I mean, look at, if you invert the RSI.
Oh no. Wait a second. Let's turn
Yeah.
that off for everybody, because that is pure
So,
fear.
2021 between
Fine.
May and September,
Yeah.
those three peaks.
Yeah.
Look at the move that we got once that RSI broke down. Massive move.
Yeah.
It's going to be a monster. I reckon there's a monster move coming on ETH, to be honest. I've just decided. There's your clickbait engagement tweet for after the stream.
Yeah, it is, but I don't think I can give a minus 800 target.
I don't know.
Maybe
I've seen some shit.
Maybe I have to. Yeah, I know.
Like I think the reason I haven't given it much thought is because in my mind he's a fucking loser already.
Oh shit! I don't know if we can clip that one.
Like he's a joke already. So
oh god, you're pushing it even more.
Who cares if he gets liquidated? The guy, I can't wait. I can't wait for there to be like a for sale board on his hope.com website. That'd be funny.
But what's the advice when it comes to stable coins, protection, portfolios, etc.?
Yeah, well, I've been saying it for a while now on my own streams of the only money I have on exchanges is that I'm prepared to lose outright. So I've got a very small amount. But I'm at the minute I've got a trading account that I don't even really compound. I basically withdraw my profits and keep it at a fixed capital amount.
Sure.
And I just most of my money's not anywhere near an exchange. Me personally, like I think it's important to think of leverage as a tool as opposed, you know, people use leverage as a means to trade with a larger stack than they hold, but really it should be used as a tool to limit your risk, you know, so you can hold less money on exchanges.
So CRO did a big scheme with a debit card. So they had a couple of crypto debit card options in which you would stake.
Let me guess,
CRO.
they were promising yield.
Oh yeah, you were promised yield on your CRO deposit as well. So you're promised yield on that perspective.
Great.
And then they also offered different tiers of card depending on how much CRO you had staked, and then you were also given not only yield, you were given cash back as well.
So they're fucked.
Hit it, Joe!
I think you've got to ask yourself, why are you holding an 85% drawdown? I don't think it's necessarily, I can't really answer in regards to should you sell or hold. You know, you should be implementing, like, it's just really harsh and I'm sorry, but you should be implementing risk management. You know, no one likes to take a loss, but if you assign, let's say, a 15% drawdown before I cut my losses, and then it goes to 85% down, but you've already cut your losses at 15%, that 50% won't feel like, you know, it always feels grim taking a loss in the moment, but as long as you stick to your rule set, you know, you get over it. Sometimes the burden of a drawdown, etc., can sort of mess with your ability to think rationally, make good decisions. So sometimes it might even just be a good idea to relieve yourself of that drawdown.
Some of the biggest successes I had with people that I coached formerly are where people suffered huge drawdowns, they cut it, right? Some of the biggest successes were when people accepted the loss. They were down big on what their portfolio all-time high was, and instead what you do is you restart with a positive change. So what you're doing now is you're saying, okay, I have 50,000 to invest, let's see what we can turn it into, right? So it's like this shift in mentality from every day thinking, fuck me, I was at 500k in the summer and now look where I am. And it's this change in mentality to, I now have 50k, let's see what we can invest.
Yeah.
Let's see what we can do with it. It's this whole change.
It sounds like the fucking worst job in the world, really. It's so, like, it is a battle, but I think we're all just masochists, to be honest. Because, I love it, but I'm at the point now where my sort of ability to produce serotonin, is that the right one? Endorphins.
Yeah.
Is just, I don't feel anything anymore.
Oh, Christ. This is it. This is it for everybody listening in and wants to become a full-time trader. This is where Jim is now, is the end goal, right? Where you're emotionally numb. Nothing matters anymore. We're just staring at bands and rotations, and we're just clicking buttons, and that's it. And then we go and play golf on the weekends in the summer when the weather's nice enough here.
I loved the weekly RSI structure on silver. It was lovely around the $18 support level.
Yeah.
Looks great. Looks really good. Usually when it looks really good, it's gonna ruin your day.
Yeah. So I've been in silver for a while in terms of adding to this position. I think I've added to this position on like three separate occasions. This is the best. Yeah, you see, look at the target. Yeah. Now this is the best it's looked. Obviously, in the move away from this kind of 18 region, this is the best it's looked. Now, for me, if we get back above 2220, then I think you just continue to hold this. Like, that's my perspective. Like, the weekly is so good. 39.5 mil.
It looks ghastly.
Wow.
It looks
think
like
about the events that have gone on there.
Oh, the smell. Smell.
Imagine.
Soy milk and fucking
semen.
An hour from now, I'll be surrounded by semen. Sperm whales and semen. Ooh, a swallow.
Yeah, let's look at gold quickly. So really good. Again, like, it's kind of like the silver reclaim So like it's already basically happened on gold. I think you can probably widen the area if you want to use, you know, like a nice big chunky box for this. And I think obviously the strength of this close here is very, very good. So I think gold looks very good. The concern has always been this 3-month kind of divergence structure here.
Such a good trap.
But
I am extremely bullish on metals. It's going to spike up $25.
all right.
Watch it nuke for 2%.
Sam? Sam?
All right, listen, what's happened, Jim?
Oh, you couldn't have wrote that any better. It's going to disappear off the screen.
It's a classic. That's why it's always so good doing the calls. It's
Oh, that's so good. What? Literally hilarious.
Well, big thank you, Jim, for joining me, despite this is all that people will remember from our 2 hours of discussion.
Yeah.